All right. Free. We are finally free. What should we do this weekend, Tom? Maybe take a little trip to Vegas? I don't know. Cabo? Wabo Cabo, baby. Me and you. Vacay time.
Brandon, that sounds great. And while there would be nothing that I would love more than to watch you jog along a beach looking like Sean Connery with that mane on your chest.
I've cut out sugar the last week, so it looks great.
I bet it does. However, the Packers are still fighting for a playoff spot, and with just one more win, they're in actually. Yeah, no,
you guys were 4-8.
Yeah, now we're 8-8, and if we win against the Lions next week, we're in the playoffs.
Oh my god. Okay, so I guess I'm going on vacation alone again.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Monday edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS.
Chapasui.
That's it. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know. How much stock can you put in 2 moral victories in 2 losses to the Chiefs?
Better than crypto?
Hey, Tom, imagine if the highlight of your season was almost beating the Vikings twice, but definitely not beating them either time.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, the Denver Broncos, we're going to play our best football against the Chiefs in just a horrible year and still lose both of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fun.
You got really close, though. You got real close.
Yeah, we got real close.
So that was exciting. The chat kept updating me what was going on, and they were like, no, he's crying again.
Oh, I let them hurt me. I let them hurt me.
You did. You had the hope. That's the worst part.
They're like, baby, we swear we'll never do it again. We're so sorry. We'll never do it again. I said, okay, come back home. Come back. Boom. Baby, rip my heart out again. I'll never cheat on you again. Okay, come back. 1 minute later, fornicating with the neighbor. Anyway, at least things are good on your end. I mean, you guys didn't just beat the Vikings. You smacked the ever-living life out of them. You made them want to be a skull, dead in the ground, away from your brutality.
You know what one of the greatest things was? It was at Lambeau Field, and when they were down 41-17, the Green Bay Packers fans started imitating the skull chant of the Minnesota Vikings, and it is beautiful. The Green Bay Packers scored 41 unanswered points against the Vikings. 41. We have not had a blowout in so long. This was so cathartic, and I'm sorry. The Vikings fans afterwards, I saw, they made the middle of the field too wet, so the Vikings couldn't do anything. I swear to God, real thing. So the Packers magically have 2 home games at the end of the year when we played like 18 freaking road games in a row. But I don't care. You know why? Because the tears from this Vikings team is delicious. It sustains me. It keeps my scalp healthy. So you know what? I'm vibing. And I've been hearing now for weeks, Brandon Perna. For weeks. Packers aren't going to win another game. Nope, not going to win another game. Packers aren't going to the playoffs. And now we're 1 away. We are 1 win away. And I'm not looking past the Lions because the Lions are a good football team, right? They beat the crap out of the Bears yesterday. I love Jamal Williams talking about Pokemon cards. Like, they are a good football team. And like, it's going to be a battle. But I am so happy that the Packers have gone from 4-8 to now 8-8 and they're 1 win away. So yeah, I'm very happy watching my football team right now. So, yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I lost a little respect for the Vikings after that game.
That's tough to do if you don't have any. So, yep. Somehow.
Watch it, Cole.
Somehow.
Watch it, Cole.
But yes.
Well, here's a little teaser. Maybe Cole will have a coffee coming out soon.
Oh.
Minnesota. I know you had the biggest comeback in NFL history.
I did.
Against the Colts. It was awesome. Friggin' awesome. But your game plan shouldn't be to try and do that every week. That's not a formula for success. And, you know, they could have lost that game respectfully, showed some sort of fight. And they could have delivered a punch early in that game. I was like, oh no. I was like, thoughts and prayers for Tom, the special
punt. Yep.
Block punt. Vikings on the what? 2-yard line?
1 on the 1. And they couldn't punch it in. They got 3 points and then they didn't score again until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like that's sad. That's sad, Minnesota. You got Dalvin Cook there. Were any of those plays a QB sneak attempt?
No.
Man, Jason Kelce is going to be livid. I watched him like go off on his podcast about like the highest probability play to get 1 yard is a quarterback sneak.
Yep.
And he's like, you know,
teams
don't run it enough. And Travis Kelce was like, well, to be fair, when our quarterback had his knee outside of his body, one of the times he tried it. So that's why we don't run it as much. But I agree. I don't know why you don't at least you run a play and then you hurry back up to the line of scrimmage. You get that quick snap with the quarterback. But once the Packers made that stop, I was like, oh, I think it's going to be a good night or a good afternoon for Tom Grossi.
It was.
And the fact that they followed that up with who's your returner?
Oh, Keyshawn Nixon.
Yeah, that dude's a baller. That dude can play.
Dude,
5 yards. Woo.
Dude, it was amazing because this is his 7th straight game of over 90 return yards, which is the longest streak since 2000. He had a 90-plus yard return last week against the Dolphins, had a 105-yard TD return this week. Keyshawn Nixon, and he was questionable to play. Yeah. So, just saying. Oh, Tom Brady. But Keyshawn Nixon, he's a stud. And like, again, the special teams, as we had that one blunder, obviously, like with the blocked punt, but they've gotten so much better. Like, so much better. And I'm so happy about it.
No.
So happy. But let's talk about something else, Brandon Perna. It's about the Minnesota Vikings still. And this is very, very important, okay? Jair Alexander, before the game, talking a bunch of smack about Justin Jefferson. It's like, oh, week 1 was a fluke, what have you. And I'll be the first. Justin Jefferson burns us every single time. He is an amazing wide receiver. He's one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. Okay. He's like right up there with Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp when he's healthy, Tyreek Hill. He's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did Justin Jefferson cry about a lack of a taunting call, not only did he hit a referee
lack of a taunting?
Yep. He was like, oh, it should have been taunting because Justin Jefferson, the guy who does the gritty, Jair Alexander did the gritty on Justin Jefferson.
And he wanted taunting for that? That's the softest shit I've ever heard.
He did the whole thing, and he cried about it in the post game. And was like, I thought it should be taunting, but whatever. 2, was held to 1 catch for 15 yards, and he hit a referee with his helmet because he was so frustrated. He took it off, and he hit a referee in the back of the shoulder. So, yeah.
I just lost all respect for Justin Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, I have it.
Nothing makes my stomach turn more than taunting penalties. And now we got a receiver out there complaining about not getting one. If I had a NFL top 100 of softest players in the NFL list, he would have all of the top 10 spots. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 going to Justin Jefferson. Disgusting. You should be banned for a year. You should get Calvin Ridley treatment for that.
That's that crybaby. And then the other crybaby, Zadarius Smith, after week 1. Oh, he was talking a whole lot of smack, talking about how he owns the Packers. He didn't even shake hands with people. He went to go shake hands. Like, he avoided a handshake for the beginning of the game. And then right as soon as game was over, ran right into the locker room.
Oh, so he Tom Brady did, huh? Tom Brady did. He loses like Tom Brady. That's what we learned about Zadarius Smith.
Dude, like, and that's the thing, too. Like, just remain consistent. Like, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. You know, like, we got our ass kicked by the Vikings in week 1. And for 17 weeks, I had to hear it. Kings of the North, the Packers suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. And then when we blow you the F out, it's the end of the world. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, just get the hell out of here. I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah. If yesterday felt good, it felt so good. Because if we lost yesterday, it would have been, because they would have eliminated us from the playoffs. It would have been a rough rest of the year. But nope. We good.
Okay, so if the Packers do get in, the first game most likely against the 49ers.
So that's where
unless the Eagles like lose, right?
So that's where it's interesting. The Packers could play a bunch of different teams because the number 1 spot's not locked up. The number 2 spot's not locked up. The only spot that's locked up right now is the number 4 spot, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they won the division. So we could play San Francisco. We could play Dallas. We could play Minnesota, or we could play Philly. It literally could be any one of those teams. The likely one is probably going to be San Francisco. Philly could lose next week. They're playing the Giants, and Jalen Hurts apparently might play. Oh, listen, I'm respecting the Lions. Like that could be problematic, even though they beat the crap out of them the first time. But I don't think Gardner Minshew's ever going to get a shot again at being the starter. But the more important thing is,
Duval.
I don't care who we play. I got to be honest, I don't care. Because
I mean, what I was going to ask is, seeing the Raiders put that many points up on the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Does that give you a little, maybe a little more confidence than you had a week ago if you had to play San Francisco? Also,
1,000,000%. Because
Brock Purdy's been great, but there is a difference between the regular season and the postseason for quarterbacks. I don't know.
Yes. No, it makes me feel a little bit better. They're going to release the week 18. Well, they announced the Saturday games. You're going to have Jaguars Titans on Saturday Night Football and the Chiefs Raiders earlier that day on Saturday. But Sunday games they'll announce after tonight. They'll do it later today. But I mean, yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better seeing how competitive the Raiders were, especially against that defense. That I think was the most surprising part of it. Dave Bakhtiari came back from having his appendix removed. So he was out for 3 weeks and he played really, really well. I think Rodgers only had 1 sack, right? I think he only sacked once. Yeah, sacked once. So, I mean, he had clean pockets the entire day. So I think that the San Francisco 49ers match up the worst with the Packers. Like, it's going to be rough. Like, that would be a tough game to win. But I mean, listen, the Packers have won 4 straight games. If they win next week, there'll be 5 straight games, and they have a lot of momentum. I put this out today because I recorded the Packers post game this morning. I'll be out after GPS. So they've had at least 1 turnover in their last 10 games. Those first 6 games that they had that turnover, when they didn't have one was against the Jets. Those first 6 games, they had a total of 8 turnovers. The last 4 games, they've had 12 turnovers. They had 4 this week, 4 last week. Then they had 1 against the Rams. They should have had more. And then they had 3 against the Bears. So, yeah, that defense is becoming a little opportunistic. I'm still worried about the pass rush. But real quick, sorry, Perna. Let me explain this because I keep on getting asked this question. I explained in the
Should I
postgame.
reject or accept cookies?
Nom nom. I accept.
Okay, explain.
Okay, so right now the Lions have the tiebreaker over the Packers because the Lions beat the Packers earlier this season. So because of that, the Seahawks, who have the tiebreaker over the Lions, are at number 7. If the Seahawks win, the Lions cannot make the playoffs. Simple as that. However, if the Packers beat the Lions, they will have the tiebreaker over the Lions because of like strength of victory, and they will have a better conference record than the Seahawks. So they will go from number 9 up to number 7. So to give you the full breakdown, if the Seahawks win next week, it's between the Seahawks and the Packers. If the Packers win, they're in. If the Packers lose, the Seahawks are in. If the Seahawks lose, then it's either Lions or Packers. It's whoever wins that game. So I hope that.
So if the Packers win, they're in no matter what.
Very in control of their destiny. Yep. So they are where the Patriots are because the Patriots are in the same set. They are in control of their destiny. If the Patriots win next week, it's against the Bills. But if they win next week, they are in. And Steelers can somehow still do it because if the Patriots and Dolphins lose, the Steelers can make it in because the Dolphins are playing the Jets, which is not going to be an easy game either. The Steelers legit might sneak into the playoffs because Steelers going Super Bowl. So, yes, that Cowboys win was big. But yeah, Commanders got eliminated yesterday. Ron Rivera getting a lot of heat because he didn't know like that they would have been eliminated. But I mean, like, I don't really put too much credence in there. It's like, hey, he just wants to win this game. He's not really caring about playoffs at this point. But I don't know if you want to win while you're paying Carson Wentz. Not really sure why you're doing that.
Yeah, that was a dumb move. I think it's like, that's like the most coach type thing is to be, I was so focused on this week. I had no idea what scenarios could play out. One game at a time. That's the philosophy we live by.
Sorry, yeah. If Seattle wins and the Lions and Packers tie, then the Seattle Seahawks are going to get in. But yeah. So.
Oh
yeah, we had a musical celebration yesterday. It was great.
What's interesting here is I like how clean and tidy the NFC is. You know, there's just 3 teams left, clean and tidy in the NFC.
Yep.
Then you got all this bullshit here in the AFC.
The Jaguars could still technically get a wild card spot, technically, like without the division title.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, the AFC is a disaster. Like, I really wanted Sunday Night Football to be Packers-Lions, but the problem is if the Seahawks win, it's not a win and get in game for both those teams, so they're probably not going to put it on Sunday night. They might do it at like 4 o'clock, but...
Yeah, and then if the Bills win, they resume the number 1 spot in the AFC. So
they're playing the Bengals tonight, which is
playing the Bengals.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be wild.
So yeah, I mean, the Sunday night game is probably going to be Ravens Bengals because the winner of that wins the division.
Yeah, and you don't really want Lions Packers and Sunday night because
it's forced to.
It might be a meaningless game for the Lions if the Seahawks win, right?
Correct.
So those will probably both be afternoon games, would be my guess.
Well, because they already put the Titans Jaguars on Saturday night. The only other game that is going to have stakes for both teams is going to be Ravens and Bengals.
The fact that the Titans are still holding on there.
Oh, I'm sorry. If the Bengals lose tonight, though, if the Bengals win, then they win the division. Thank you, Stephanie. So yeah, so that one again. They might just throw the Packers and Lions on there if the Bengals win. So we'll see.
And it's crazy that the Steelers are kind of like the Packers in that we had no expectations for them to be in this position. They are now 8-8 with a chance. Like literally 3 weeks ago, their chances of making the playoffs were like 0.2%.
I just want to, I don't want to say I told you so, but I did predict that. I also didn't think the Packers were going to make it, but I did predict that one.
You said I told you so.
But that's the thing. Patriots have to lose against the Bills and Dolphins have to lose against the Jets and the Steelers have to win. Like those are all very possible.
Yeah. Now I heard the NFL Network making a case for the Steelers need to be in the playoffs. This is a team you want to see in the playoffs. I couldn't disagree more.
I don't
And
want
I'm
to watch
happy
them.
for the Steelers.
Boring.
I love Mike Tomlin. I hope he gets his winning record. They're a tough football team, but they are not in any way, shape, or form a fun football team to watch.
They are not. No.
I want fun football teams in the playoffs, and the Steelers are the Denver Broncos, but better coached for the duration of this season. They're going to keep it a low-scoring game, and if they win, they're going to barely win. They're not going to light it up running. They're not going to light it up passing, but they're going to hang on, which is, that makes them a dangerous team. But they are not fun. That game, that Ravens-Steelers game was a lot of pain and suffering until Pittsburgh put together, like Kenny Pickett had his best drive as an NFL pro to win that game. And Najee Harris also had a great game, key touchdown catch there at the end. But yeah, the Steelers.
No, they're not fun to watch. Like they are not. They have a really good defense, but their offense is meh. Like it's just
the Packers are fun to watch right now because Aaron Rodgers playing well again.
Defense playing well, yeah.
Defense has improved. So the Lions are fun to watch because they can score a shit ton of points. Seahawks are they're in the middle.
I don't care about Seahawks.
Sometimes they can be fun, but lately not really. Patriots are not fun to watch.
No.
Titans shouldn't even be in this conversation.
I am hardcore rooting for the Jaguars, not just for the lore, but I'm hardcore rooting for the Jaguars just because it's like you said, I want to see fun teams. Like I'm glad the Commanders are not there. Like obviously I want the Packers to be in the playoffs. The Lions would be fun, unfortunately, if we did lose, but like that would be fun to watch and the matchups would just be better. So, I mean, like, listen, I don't want to go to Santa Clara during the wild card, but again, watching the 49ers yesterday did give me a little bit of optimism because I didn't think that game was going to be necessarily close, but that defense did not look as good as it has been. And I was like,
which defense?
49ers. And Devontae Adams is a god.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can slow down Jarrett Stidham, though. Everybody knows that.
Dude, like it's a backup QB. Like,
yeah.
Damn. All right.
The Niners know backup QBs are always better. So they should have been prepared.
If it's not your backup, it's your backup.
Yeah, it's your backup's backup.
So
it's like if the Raiders won that game, a lot of heat might have been taken off Josh McDaniels.
Oh, yeah. One of the most underrated wide receivers. Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe the problem is Derek Carr. If Jarrett Stidham can come out here and beat the 49ers.
Sure.
Purdy and Stidham played very similar. But like if you look at the stat sheet, like Jarrett has like about 100 more passing yards or something. It was basically one giant touchdown to Devontae Adams was the difference. And just another like exclamation point on how good Devontae Adams is. Comes in with Jarrett, and how many freaking yards did Devontae have? 153, 2 TDs. Yeah, if Mike Evans doesn't have 207 yards yesterday, Adams is the number one receiver.
And like again, like it's still going to be incredibly because the 49ers have an amazing defense. It's going to be, but it opened the door a tiny bit. I'm going like, okay, like, yeah. But it also like at the same time, it kind of showed that the 49ers offense can go toe to toe with another team as well, because like their primary way of football is like draining the clock, just like moving the ball efficiently and not really letting the other opponent do anything. But like they went back and forth. So, yeah. Like again, the 49ers they are, in my opinion, one of the scariest teams in the playoffs. Easily. Because like, I think between the Eagles, they had Gardner Minshew. I'm not doing anything. Jalen Hurts, when they come back, they're still going to be amazing. But the 49ers are a team that scare me. And like out of the teams that are in the NFC, I think the Packers can beat all of them if they make the playoffs. The 49ers and Eagles are the ones that stand out going, I don't think you roll with Stidham for an entire year. But if you
Guillermo, your quarterback's Tom Brady. Deal with it, buddy.
That'd be interesting.
Deal with it.
So
Tom Brady just completed his audition tape for Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, where the hell did that come from? Good God, man. And I'm sorry, Panthers, everyone was rooting for you, and you allowed 20 points in the fourth quarter, and you lost the effing game. Your defense has been playing so well. And you're running the ball efficiently, and then freaking that. And we all knew it was going to happen, though. We're going to get slapped in the face. And the NFC South could have been so exciting because the Saints won yesterday. So it could have been a three-way race in Week 18 to see who wins the division. The lore would have been amazing, and you ruined it, Panthers. You ruined it! And now Tom Brady's back in the playoffs, and I don't want to watch the Buccaneers because Mike Evans was really good and Brady was good, but I've watched a lot of Buccaneers games. They suck. They're not a fun football team to watch. But watch them pull crap out of their ass now, and they're going to be like, we're going to win now. I have no doubt if the Cowboys are the 5th seed that they'd beat the Cowboys. I think they can.
Oh, I mean, the Panthers were really missing J.C. Horn. Obviously, that injury, I think if he's in the game, they have somebody who can cover Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have 207 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. I just think that might have happened. And in Carolina, everything works when they run the hell out of the football, and Tampa's run defense, which even when everything else has been kind of ugly this season, their run defense has been one of the more reliable facets of their team. And Darnold, the Panthers lost in a very similar way to the Broncos. They got the ball back late, had a chance. Panthers were in a worse situation. And they just could not block, and Darnold gets hit from behind. Ball comes out. Buccaneers recover. Same thing happened to the Broncos. Only difference is Russell Wilson was roughed, and they did not throw a flag. But offensive line problems. Ooh. No, they will not be cursed.
Didn't you curse Michigan?
The whole state?
Yeah.
So I could get Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't keep up with my curses.
I don't care who wins. I got to be honest, Falling. I just want a good football game. I just want to see a good primetime game, please. That's all I want.
We're going to get a good one. We're going to get a good one.
Through the desert at just looking for good games, and all there is Jeff Bezos and Thursday night games and terrible Monday night games and watching teams put up no points on Sunday night. But now there's an oasis in the middle of the desert, and it is Bills and Bengals. And they come, drink at our water, and be satiated by our good football play. And I
no, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
Kitty goes meow. Kitty goes meow. And I swear to God, if this game is bad, I swear to gosh, I will lose my mind.
Bengals win 10-7.
I will throw myself. I'll defenestrate myself. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Bengals win 10-7. No, wait. Bengals win 9-7. The only touchdown in the game is a fumble at the goal line recovered by the defense. Just that's it. That's what we're getting now.
Great.
I did not curse Michigan.
You did curse Michigan.
I don't remember. I have no recollection of that.
So, anyway, yes, the Giants. They made the playoffs. I think again, Brian Daboll is near the top of my list for Coach of the Year. What he's being able to do with that team, with a similar talent to last year, and basically having no secondary, just having all the injuries that they've had, and now they're heading to the postseason. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. And listen, the Giants, they aren't a team that I think is going to, surprise a ton of people. They could win their, first game, their wild card game, But you never know. Like, they're a well-coached football team. They run the ball pretty well. Daniel Jones isn't playing well when his receivers actually catch the ball. And that's what I'm saying. The NFC is so wide open. It's so wide open.
Yeah. And Dan Jones had 90 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Like, McCourty called him Vanilla Vic. Like, I think the Giants need to lean into that. It's been something we've seen when they play well. He has some plays with his legs, and when your passing game is so weird and your receivers are all hurt and you need to take a little pressure off Saquon Barkley because defenses can key on him. Free Dan Jones, give him some designed runs, and maybe that's how, the Giants can steal a win in the postseason. They're like, they've kind of just hung around all year, overperformed a little bit like the Lions. The Giants defense has been more consistent all season. The Lions offense just much better, but they're interesting, sort of. Diehard Miami fan, but I come to you in my time of need. Please prevent our playoff run. I want the Tua coaster bad. I want off the Tua coaster.
He wants off the coaster.
Why? At least you're on a ride.
At least
better
you're
than
on
the
a
ride
ride.
I've been on.
It's just straight down. You're just like, oh, we're gonna be coming up soon. Nope.
Is it going straight down, or is
matter.
it just the climb the whole time?
That's it. You're like, all right, we're gonna go down now, right? We're gonna feel something,
and then it stalls, and we start rolling backwards. That's what happened.
Let's go.
There's a problem on the ride. We got to shut it down, and you're at the top, and they can't move it, and you're just stuck there. They have to fly in helicopters to get you off.
Like the Chiefs, you think you're swaying, like, oh, we're gonna go downhill. Nope, we're going back.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think Bills Chiefs right now for the AFC, and then 49ers Eagles.
I think Bills Bengals. I've watched the Chiefs almost lose to the Broncos twice. If there's something you should worry about, Kansas City, it might be your defense. My offense can score on you,
which is weird because they destroyed the Seahawks last week. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so few and far between of consistent teams. Like the 49ers, they've won 9 straight games. They are still consistent. Close game yesterday, but they've been playing really, really good football. The Eagles, besides obviously having Gardner Minshew, they've been playing good football. And the Bills, they're on another hot streak. So I'm very curious to see how they do, because the Bills and Bengals have one of the top streaks in the NFL right now in terms of wins.
The 5
Bills 6 straight, Bengals
right
7.
now. The 5 best teams all season long: 49ers, Eagles, Bills, Bengals, Chiefs. There's just no getting around those top performing teams.
Yeah.
They're the consistently scary ones. You expect them to win every week at this point. Obviously didn't start that way for the 49ers. And now the Eagles are on the reverse into that because they've had to roll with Gardner the last 2 weeks, but they're already in. So that there's no reason to force Hurts back early. But that doesn't mean any of those teams won't lose in the playoffs. It's once that starts, if this
nothing matters.
The most week-to-week seasons of NFL football I remember, where as soon as you really start to believe in something, that team just drops an egg, just plays horrible that week. So we'll see what happens when the postseason actually kicks off.
AFC playoffs, I think, are going to be a lot of fun. NFC, it's just you don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that are, I don't want to say fraudulent, but are not as good. I'm looking at you, Cowboys. I'm looking at you, Vikings. Giants. They're probably up there too. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of teams that I could see. Oh yeah, they could lose their first game, 100%. So I don't know. Titans shouldn't even be sniffing the playoffs. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm so excited, and we're so freaking close. And we're so freaking close.
Yeah. I saw somebody say, the Chiefs beat the 49ers, right? Worked them. That was a different 49ers team, though.
Correct.
Like, the Broncos beat the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
that was a Jimmy Garoppolo game. So, and Brock Purdy came in because the Chiefs were blowing him out. So, or is that the game he got hurt?
Which
Was
one?
that the game? When did
You talking about the Broncos game? Oh, no, I don't know when Jimmy came in.
When did Jimmy get hurt?
Or get hurt, I mean.
Let's see here.
Honestly, but so like the Vikings have had this now, 3 times? They got blown out by the Eagles. They got the crap beaten out of them by the Cowboys, and then they got the crap beaten out by the Packers.
Yeah. The fact that the Vikings let the Colts score that many points against them after what we've seen post those games from the Colts to me look like the worst team in football.
Trade back, get offensive linemen.
Since that game, there's no team worse than the Colts
tonight.
So the Vikings, I would say, have the biggest red flags in terms of their defense heading into the postseason. Let's bring those. Let me bring.
Well, Seattle has the number 3 pick because they have Denver's pick.
Yeah,
that's why.
Whatever.
They have Denver's. Arizona sucks, but the Broncos suck more.
Which the Vikings clearly have the worst defense of any of the playoff teams right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think it's close.
No. The Seahawks are bad. Like, their defense is not good.
Yeah, I guess it's close. But yeah, if you're a Vikings fan, that's what's going to bite you in the ass is your horrible defense.
Well, Kirk Cousins was their second leading rusher yesterday because they fell behind so quickly that they couldn't even do the run. They have to run the football because then it gets better. But KJ Osborne and TJ Hawkinson were their 2 most targeted receivers. Naylor was the leading receiver in yards, but I guess he had a 40.
Hardly knew her.
Yeah, that's literally the joke I made yesterday during the stream.
Vikings allowing the second most points per game right now. I forgot the Lions defense, obviously, also not great, but 25.9 points per game, Minnesota. You don't like that. Chiefs 22, Seahawks 24, Dolphins 24. So, yes, not good. I want to see. Okay, so the Bears are allowing 27 points per game, which is worst in the league. To me, it would be rather hilarious if the Vikings get blown out this weekend and finish the season with the worst scoring defense in the NFL. Has an NFL team ever made the playoffs while also having the worst scoring defense?
I'm sure
Somebody find that stat.
I'm sure it has. I mean, Packers have had some pretty bad defenses that have gotten in. Well, that's the thing, too. The Vikings, the furthest they can fall is where they are at the 3 seed. So, right now, they'd be playing the Giants.
Right.
So,
and they could win that game with a bad defense.
That went down to the wire last week, and they won with a 61-yard field goal to end it. So, that went down literally to the wire.
Rematch.
Yeah, you could see a rematch. Right now, if it stands the way that it is, you have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Packers. You have the Vikings taking on the Giants, and it's Cowboys Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Ooh. But, I mean, there's a lot that can shift in that last week. A lot of things.
Be interesting to see if the Bills can resume their
I'd rather not go to Santa Clara if I had the option. But then again, we have to get into the playoffs anyway.
Yeah. So, look at all these teams with good defenses. Jets not in the playoffs, but that's because they just lost and they don't have a quarterback. Playoff team, not in the playoffs. Playoff team, not in the playoffs because they don't have a quarterback. Playoff team. Need defense. That's my point.
Packers are hanging out down there. They're chilling.
Yeah, right in the middle.
They're chilling down there.
They've made they're kind of like the Lions, where they've made incremental sort of steps. Then the Lions had just a bad game again. I think kind of effed them a little bit, but and the Chargers defense has gotten better through the course of the season as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're an interesting playoff team. We haven't talked about the Chargers today, but they get a win, and they got Joey Bosa back. And when is Rashawn Slater coming back? God, they need him. How many yards did Austin Eckler have?
Dude, he had like a 71-yard touchdown or some crazy thing. He was a monster yesterday. Good for them. Against the Rams, which the Rams are just whatever. The Rams I don't care about. Yeah, I mean, looking at some of the score, Jacksonville, they had a dominant win. They won 31-3. We were talking about how well the Texans have been playing the past few weeks. They just didn't show up. The Jaguars absolutely crushed them. So, yeah, that's a great question. Why did they wait? Why didn't the Broncos just be good to start the season?
Well,
it's weird. Like, why wouldn't they just
a lot of problems? Ever heard of injuries to your offensive line? Ever heard of not having the right head coach? Ever heard of your quarterback taking a lot longer to get acclimated than you thought about? Ever heard of bad luck? Ever heard of getting dicked by the officials in a winnable game against the Chiefs? Oh, that happened to us. Basically, any chance we ever get, it is immediately taken away from us. Whether that's self-inflicted wound, whether that's injury, whether that's the officials, whether that's just God. I have no explanation sometimes. The difference, the Broncos, from the way they played on Christmas versus the way they played yesterday against the Chiefs, is in such sharp contrast. I cannot explain it, Tom. They let the Rams score 51 points against them.
Yeah.
And then they were down 3 to the Chiefs with the game on the line. They had the lead twice in that game. It was a little back and forth. There was no, I thought maybe they get the unexplained, your coach gets fired boost heading into
interim
that game.
Head coach boost.
The interim boost. Oh, they got it, and they were close. But I didn't think they would be that competitive for 60 minutes. It was, quite honestly, the best game they played all season, because even when they played the Chiefs a couple weeks ago and they had a chance, that game started with the Broncos down 27-0. You know what I mean? Like, there was a giant, almost full half of football where they were just atrocious. This game, defense, got a little offense, a little defense, a little offense. It was that give and take. Russ played better, had 2 rushing touchdowns. Got another interception. Patty Mahomes threw a red zone pick. Horrible throw. We get a fumble on a punt. There's just opportunities, and they did not capitalize on all of them. That's the real issue. But I was just surprised. I expected to head into the offseason continuing just being at that bottoming out from the Rams game. But now I'm like, oh, maybe there's a little hope moving forward. Maybe correct play calling for Russ helps.
Didn't you think that right before the Rams game too?
Yeah. Oh, 100%, because they played well. Yeah. They had two decent offensive performances.
Yeah. And then they played the Rams, and you're like,
but then they made a change. So we'll see. We're down at the bottom. We're still a horrible football team, but I have a little bit of hope, and they're going to take a big swing at all Jimmy Harbaugh. And we'll see if it happens.
Because you curse Michigan.
Do I think? Yes, I do.
Because he could run away from the bad O line.
Yeah, because he's so fast.
That's actually literally what I was going to bring up. So that, besides Ron Rivera not knowing if Washington was going to be eliminated with the Packers, one. So Kayvon Thibodeau sacked Nick Foles.
I saw that.
And it looked like it was apparently a rib injury, but it looked like he was almost seizing up, which was horrifying to watch. He was carted off, and Kayvon Thibodeau was doing snow angels next to him. Now, like, I'm gonna try to give him the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
and say like he didn't, like he wasn't even looking at him, like he literally was looking straight up. So like I'm gonna and he said he didn't know. I know you take that with a grain of salt, but
Yeah, I don't think he knew.
I don't think he knew.
He was all into the snow angel celebration.
Yeah.
The angel of death, snow angel of death came on.
So yeah,
What did Foles break his ribs? Foles injury.
I just had a rib injury. I was trying to look up right before. But then on the sideline, yeah, I think he did like the go to sleep thing. So that's not great. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. So yeah,
I'm rewatching it right now. Ooh, yeah, he definitely fell on him with this body weight.
Yeah,
that should have. I mean, I don't think it should be a flag, but I think a lot of times you're going to get this flag, and it actually caused the injury that they're trying to avoid, right? And there's no flag there.
So apparently Thibodeau on the sideline too was also making remarks when he was seeing Foles was down of like go to sleep. So yeah, okay, it's not a good look. It's not good.
Wow.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right though. I mean, technically that by the book, because it's the Aaron Rodgers rule, because after Anthony Barr broke his freaking collarbone. Yeah.
It's just another
refs not being consistent in the NFL.
Yeah, it's not consistent at all.
Yep.
The same way with like Russell Wilson, 4th and 2, Chris Jones body slams him into the ground. No flag.
Oh, we had a body slam. Quay Walker picked up a receiver yesterday and literally just slammed him down the ground. They got a flag for that one.
Yeah.
But he
flung him into the ground. But
yeah,
we saw Brady get that penalty earlier in the season. We saw Patrick Mahomes not get that penalty in the Texans game, and we saw it not happen again. It's just got to be one way or the other. Like, I don't think it should be a penalty. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau's hit should be a penalty. But based on the way they call other games, you get those flags.
Appreciate you. I mean, could they go college? They could. Yeah. I mean, that's what he's talking about with Harbaugh. So he could. But yeah, that was. What
does that mean?
I don't know. It depends.
How much more objective I could be.
But Benkert has said this too. Like, you literally have teams that scheme and prepare for what officiating crew they're getting. Like, that's horrible. Like, it's not good. Like, that's not a good look. Yeah, other games that kind of just like stood out. You did have New England beating Miami. Miami had backups in. Giants beat the crap out of Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew, buddy, your boy. He was bad yesterday. He was bad.
Oh, you mean the guy who only gets to play once a year is not elite? Let him play a full season, then come at me.
So the best part is both QBs, both Dalton and Minshew, got sacked 6 times each. Like, both their offensive lines were like, come on down. Minshew, had some bad plays. They didn't look as good.
How many Philly
will be fine. It's because it's not Jalen Hurts. Like, as soon as Jalen Hurts comes back in, like if they were able to sneak away that win with the Cowboys, they'd be so happy because they would have given him all this time to rest. He should still be ready for the Giants. But like, if you are Philly, like, you just like win, like just do the bare minimum, beat the Giants, get that other week off, give Jalen Hurts even more time to rest. Because like, that's the most important thing if you're Philadelphia.
The Eagles have 68 sacks this season.
Yeah.
68. They're close to breaking the record. NFL season sack record team. The Chicago Bears.
That would make sense.
72 sacks during the 84 season.
Oh, okay. So I mean, they're close.
They got to get 4 sacks to tie that record. Obviously, it's an extra game, so it's a bullshit record. But 68 sacks, that's a lot in a single season. Might come in handy in the playoffs. God, I really want the Eagles to play the Buccaneers in the playoffs.
So they could, if they lose, they could drop to the 5 seed, and then they wind up playing the Bucs.
I kind of want that.
Because they can't, like, so they are trying to clinch the division and the 1 seed. So they win, they do that. They have just had to win, and they just haven't been able to because Hurts hasn't been there. So If they lose and the Cowboys win, and then I think the 49ers, I forget, like something has to happen with them, but like they'll drop down. So they could play, which would be pretty great because the Buccaneers beat the crap out of the Eagles last year in the wild card. So now you would think maybe the Eagles beat the crap out of them.
I'd love to see how old Tommy Brady plays with a little bit of pressure and a team that has a good, consistently good offense, good defense. I feel like Jalen Hurts would rectify his performance from last year in the postseason. That's the matchup I want. That's the one I want.
NFC is I don't know, but I think Philly is going to be fine in the playoffs regardless. I think Philly's biggest threat is San Francisco. I think it's San Francisco. Like it's that defense. That's it. Yeah. Like, I think that is like the biggest one. 2000 Rams. There you go. Worst scoring D, 471 points.
Oh,
greatest
amazing!
Show on turf. Greatest show on turf.
Thank you.
There you go. We got it.
Wow.
So that was fun. On top of that, looking at some other games that stood out. Oh, this is stupid NBA. I don't care about that. What was the other one I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, the Browns. They beat the Commanders. 49ers have to lose. Eagles have to lose for the Cowboys to get the 1 seed. The Cowboys win. Honestly, please let the Cowboys get the 1 seed. Please. I know I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. If the Packers beat the Lions, still a big if. If the Packers beat the Lions, they go at the 7 seed. Have the Vikings be chilling at the 2 seed. Beat the Vikings. Then you go play the Cowboys. Oh, God. Please.
And we just broke 5,000 live viewers here, Tom Grossi, on Monday morning. Boom.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
There's a lot of scenarios, and like that's what makes it fun. Like I'm enjoying the end of the year because I feel like with how many mid teams there were this year, it led to really bad quality football from like a week to week basis. Like, oh, like this is a good game, or like this was a crazy week. You know, like week 2 was nuts, but it's been like low quality. But now that you're starting to get like that increased pressure, and like there's all these like opportunities for teams to make it, or like seeding changes. It's just fun. Like January football is just so much fun, man. And it's the best time of the sport. So, yeah.
It could have, this last week could have been even more fun if we had just
the Panthers. The Seahawks needed to lose, and the Panthers. Oh, God, the Panthers. We could have had so much fun, but nope, you ruined it.
I wonder if we'll ever get an NFL season where, like, the final week, every single game has playoff implications.
Great.
Every game. For both teams. Like, for both teams involved. I don't think
it's going to ever happen, but yeah.
It can happen. It would have to be the most mediocre year of football, though, to get there, right? Because it's got to be a bunch of teams with average records. Every team's got to be, like, 8-8 heading into that final week.
Yep. Yeah, so real quick, Browns Commanders. I watched a bit of that game, and Deshaun Watson sucked ass in the beginning, but then he like started to actually come into it a little bit. He's 9 for 18, had 3 touchdowns, but I was like,
Yeah, it was a game where people were talking about Watson and Wentz both on pace for the worst quarterback of the week.
Yeah.
I think Wentz probably finished that off more efficiently, and of course it was also like somebody else was like, of course, Dan Snyder's team is going to hand Deshaun Watson the victory and get themselves eliminated from the playoffs.
Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about right, but. I just don't know why, like, Ron Rivera hates Taylor Heineke. Because, like, why now? Carson Wentz is not going to be your guy. He's not your franchise guy, right? You have really no ties to him. Why? Like, do you really think, like, he is the best? Coming off an injury, he's the best guy to help lead your team to victory. And you're still eligible for the playoffs. And the guy who got you there is Taylor Heineke, for better or for worse. It was a
must-win game. It was a must-win game. And I know, like, things hadn't been going great for the Commanders like over the last month.
They got a pig now.
And maybe it's like, oh, change at the QB position, will provide some sort of spark. But if the guy you're relying on to do that is Carson Wentz, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Riverboat Ron, you gambled and you lost.
There you go.
You gambled.
Vikings in second with 71 and 89. There you go.
Ooh. Oh, the purple people eaters. I know history.
You do. Yeah, last night was a game that occurred. I don't care. Plus, the Steelers keep their playoff hopes alive. But tonight, Brandon Perna, the last Monday night game of the regular season. Oh, then Tommy did it. I did it.
You did every primetime game
in the regular season, and then I got to do every single playoff game.
You sick son of a bitch.
Again, who do you think gets the dub tonight? One Brandon Perna.
Is it in Cincy or Buffalo?
Cincy. I
still think the Bills win.
Say a little louder.
I think the Bills win today, Tom Grossi.
Why?
No, it's the Bills!
Now it's the Bills, baby. Look, I think it's going to be a good game. The Broncos tried to help the Bills. If we could have just beat the Chiefs for them, but we didn't. I just think Buffalo's just a more complete team than Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, even Stevens. Okay.
Tonight, after tonight's game, because they have to see who wins tonight.
Yeah. Josh Allen, maybe the better, more talented quarterback all around. Joe Burrow, the more consistent, he's never going to get rattled quarterback. Into the game, I trust both those QBs. Josh Allen, he can run the ball, and the Bills run game, while dicey from week to week, you can run with Josh. I think they leaned on Devin Singletary last week. They're getting a little more out of James Cook. I think they should continue to do that. Both defenses have some injuries right now. Hendrickson playing through that broken hand with a little club on there, but it's going to be a good game. It's just going to be a good game. But I got to believe in Buffalo. I got to believe in them going all the way this time.
I want to see.
Honestly, let's put it this way. Whoever wins this game, going to be the AFC rep in the Super Bowl.
Oh. Wait, the Steelers aren't playing tonight.
Steelers go!
I called Tree last night. I was like, Packers Steelers Super Bowl, let's go. Number 7 seeds just going all the way.
That would be pretty good.
Oh, too late now. Too late. Brandon has officially cursed the Buffalo Bills. He's done it. All right, Brandon. What do you got coming out? You had a new worst game came out yesterday.
Yeah, we got to 9 news. That is up.
9.
Not 9 news like the channel, but 9 new possessive S's. That's up, and then we will have best and worst of NFL Sunday later today.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
You
Tom? Yeah. You were waiting for me to give it to you, and I didn't wanna.
I don't want to either. I literally just have like 5 more minutes left to edit in Packers post game. That'll be up in like 20 minutes after GPS. Want to do a short today too. Streaming tonight's game. Every NFL fan's reaction to Week 17 will come out after that. I got to record rankings and predictions. So
that's a lot.
It's a little bit. It's Monday. But it's the last Monday of hell. It's the last one. It is the last one because predictions get a whole lot easier next week.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like 7 games. Okay, great.
That is a lot.
It's great. I'm so excited. So
we got Saturday football this week, huh?
Yeah, I didn't realize they were doing that, so now I'm screwed.
No. Yeah, that made me mad.
I thought, isn't it usually on? Is it just me? I thought it was just on Sundays. They have a bunch of 1 o'clock, then they say this is a 4 o'clock game, then this is the night game, and that's it.
Yeah. It should all be Sunday. The NFL's so greedy.
I literally thought I had one more day off until the end of January. I was wrong.
Nope. You got.
He's a starting QB right now. I mean, like I don't think they're gonna switch him out in the playoffs.
No,
So.
you can't. That's like that's the opposite of doing a Rivera. It's like don't take away the momentum. No, actually, it's the same. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I don't know. And I love Jimmy G, but guys are rallying behind Purdy right now.
Yep, exactly. So
you make a switch mid-game if Jimmy G's healthy and like Brock sucks, then you put him in. But that's the only way.
That's it.
Anyway.
But folks, we appreciate you. At over 5,000 people here. GPS will be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. But thank you so much for watching.
GPS Clips channel. Make sure you subscribe to GPS Clips.
Do it.
If you don't have time to watch the full episode and you just want to see some of the dumb stuff we say, GPS Clips.
It's true.
Okay, that's it.
Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, GPS. And you've been navigated.
And you've reached your little